Have you ever felt trapped, with no way out? Imagine an entire nation feeling that way for centuries. This is the story of the Israelites, enslaved in the mighty land of Egypt. For 400 years, they toiled under the whips of their masters, their cries for freedom echoing unanswered, or so it seemed. But, in the grand tapestry of history, a hero was about to be revealed. A baby, set adrift in a basket on the Nile, was found and raised as a prince of Egypt. His name was Moses. But Moses had a secret, a heritage that would eventually call him to a destiny far greater than royalty. One day, while tending sheep in the wilderness, Moses encountered an incredible sight, a bush on fire but not burning up. From this flame, the voice of God spoke, commissioning him with a monumental task: go back to Egypt and lead his people to freedom. Imagine the weight of that command. Moses, a humble shepherd, was to confront the most powerful man on earth, the Pharaoh. Armed with little more than a staff and divine assurance, he returned to the land of his birth, ready to challenge an empire. Standing before the throne, Moses delivered God's message: let my people go. But the Pharaoh, his heart hardened by pride, scoffed at this demand. He didn't know the power he was defying, and so began a terrifying display of divine might. God unleashed 10 plagues upon Egypt, each more devastating than the last. The Nile turned to blood, frogs overran the land. Swarms of flies and gnats descended, livestock perished, and boils afflicted the people. Still, Pharaoh refused. Then came hail of fire, locusts that devoured every green thing, and a darkness so thick it could be felt. The Pharaoh's resolve began to crack, but he would not break. The final plague was the most dreadful. The firstborn son in every Egyptian household would die, from the palace to the dungeon. God instructed the Israelites to mark their doors with the blood of a lamb, so the angel of death would pass over them. That night, a great cry of anguish rose throughout Egypt. The Pharaoh, his own son taken, was finally broken. In grief and fury, he screamed at Moses and the Israelites to get out, to leave Egypt immediately. And so, under the cover of night, an entire nation began its journey to freedom. But their ordeal was far from over. As the Israelites traveled towards the wilderness, the Pharaoh's grief turned to rage. How dare he let his workforce just walk away? He mustered his entire army, his elite chariots, and thundered in pursuit. Soon, the Israelites found themselves trapped. The terrifying Egyptian army closing in from behind, and the vast, impassable Red Sea before them. Panic and despair swept through the crowd. They were cornered. Their short-lived freedom seemed like a cruel joke. They cried out to Moses, "Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die?" In this moment of ultimate crisis, Moses stood calm. He told the people to stand firm and see the salvation of the Lord. Then, as instructed by God, he raised his staff over the water. An incredible miracle unfolded. A strong east wind blew all night, pushing the waters of the Red Sea apart, piling them up like liquid walls on either side. Where there was once an impassable sea, there was now a wide, dry path. The Israelites stared in disbelief, then surged forward, walking on the ocean floor between the towering walls of water. They raced across the entire nation, men, women, children, and their livestock, reaching the far shore as dawn broke. Seeing his prey escape, the Pharaoh, blinded by arrogance, ordered his army to follow them into the sea. The chariots and horsemen charged down the dry seabed, right into the divine trap. Once every Israelite was safely on the other side, Moses again stretched his hand over the sea. The watery walls collapsed. The Red Sea crashed back into its place with unimaginable force, swallowing the entire Egyptian army. Not a single soldier survived. On the shore, The Israelites watched in awe and relief as the bodies of their former masters washed up on the sand. The threat was gone. The chains were broken. They were truly free. A spontaneous celebration erupted. Miriam, Moses' sister, took a tambourine, and all the women followed her, dancing and singing a song of triumph. Their song praised God, who had thrown the horse and its rider into the sea. It was a song of deliverance, a song of a new beginning, echoing across the wilderness. Their long night of slavery had ended, and the first day of their new life as a free people had just begun. This incredible event would be remembered for all time, a powerful symbol of hope and liberation against impossible odds.